chant the mantra, you please repeat. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Saha Viryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. 13th chapter. Amanitvam adambitvam Ahimsa kshantirarjavam Aacharyopaasanam shaucham Sthairyamatma vinigraha Indriyartheshu vairagyam Anahankara evacha Janma mrityu jara vyadhi dukkha doshanu darshanam Asaktirana vishvangaha Putradara gruhadishu Nityancha samachittatvam Ishtanishtopapatishu Vai chananya yogena Bhaktirabhyabicharini Vivikta desha sevitvam Aratirjana samsadi Adhyatma jnana nityatvam Tattva jnanartha darshanam Etad jnanamiti proktam Ajnanam yadatonyatha What one loves is one's nature. Whatever is natural, that is what one loves to be. One loves to abide by that. Nature can never be changed. What can be changed is not nature. Then I think I get angry. If I can change that, means anger is not my nature. Whatever is my nature can never be changed. What can be changed is not my nature. So these values, if I can adopt these values, it means to abide by these values is my nature. It is natural to me. Not to abide by the values is unnatural. That is incidental. It has come from outside. That I am Mani, that I am Dambi. It is incidental. It has come. It has come means it will go. So very good thing about these values is that all the values are my nature. It's very natural to me. Amanitvam, Adambitvam, Ahimsa and Kshantihi. We have seen these 4 values. Now 5th is Aarjavam. Aarjavam means simplicity. Rujutayaha bhavaha Aarjavam. Ruju means straightforward. Straightness, if you want to say. Aarjavam, straightness. To be straight, there have to be more than one thing. One thing also can be like this. So one thing is to be straight, And then here straightness is, a person is straight, so more than one things coming in one line will also be straight. One thing also can be like rotated like this or straight, and more than one things. So like this, if they are not straight. So these 3 or 4 remaining like this will be straight. So here when it is said straight, what's the meaning of straight? It is more than one things coming in one line. Which are these things? One is my mind, second is my speech, and third is my action, the body. What I think should be what I speak. What I speak should be what I do. If the 3 are in alignment, it will be known as Aarjavam, or I'm a straightforward person. Manasyekam, vachasyekam, karmani ekam mahatmanam, manasi anyat, vachasi anyat, karmani anyat duratmanam. I think you could follow this. It was in Sanskrit. Can you say something, Jimmy? What was this verse? Again, I will repeat. Karmani ekam, manasi ekam, vachasi ekam, karmani ekam mahatmanam, manasi anyat, karmani anyat, vachasi anyat duratmanam. What you speak? गुजराती में बोला है बेटा. Meaning.
So it is like a person who is in nature is similarity between what he speaks, what he do, and what he thinks. Then he is Mahatma. And if there is no similarity, we do something different, we speak something different, and we think something different. Then he is not Mahatma.
Duratma.
He is Duratma.
A simple thing. What makes you Mahatma?
But everybody is Duratma.
And no, straightforwardness is my nature. So how much we have deviated from the nature? It's a deviation. It's not my nature. It's not natural for me to be not straightforward. See, a child. Why to be like a child, Simple. So whatever is inside is outside. We need not rethink. He says this, does he mean it? We don't have to think. He also doesn't think. So he is asking whether a father is there at home or not. Should I say yes or no? Whatever is, he will just say. He will see and he will speak. And anybody who listens to also will know that child is saying means it is right. To be straightforward is natural. Then what we call progress is, this is what we have, a practical person. He is a progressive person. He is a mature person. He is immature. The child is immature. He doesn't know what to say. Because he says whatever is right. Everything is not to be told. He is not mature. He is immature. We are mature. So what do? We are mature. So we think something else. We speak something else. And we do third thing. That is how we do. So again we have to come back to Manasi Ekam. Simple. Mahatma means simple. He is what he looks like. Manasi Ekam. But so Manasi Saptami Vibhakti. Last time we talked about Vibhaktis. Cases. So Prathama Vibhakti was Kartarthe Prathama. What do you ask with the verb? You ask verb. Again. So at least we should know Vibhaktis. So there is a verb, Rama, gives. Giving, you were not there when we did Vibhaktis. Were you there, Jimmy? Okay, fine. So Rama gives. To give is a verb. You ask the verb who, then what comes is Rama. Rama is Karta. of the action, doer of the action, the word denoting karta is placed in first vibhakti, prathama vibhakti. Rama dadati, Rama yachati, Rama gives. Rama gives a fruit. Rama phalam dadati, yachati. You ask the verb, what does he give? What comes is object of giving. Object is karma. Object is placed in dvitiya vibhakti. So kartarthe prathama, karmarthe dvitiya. He gives with hand. Ramaha phalam yachati hastena, by hand. So you ask the verb, with what or by what does he do? Give. The answer is hastena, with hand he gives. The word denoting the instrument is placed in third vibhakti, karanam. It is known as karanam. Instrument is karanam. Karanarthe trutiya. Then, to whom does he give? Ramaha gives a fruit with the hand to a brahmana. Ramaha phalam hastena brahmanaya yachati. The word denoting to whom it is given is placed in fourth vibhakti, chaturthi vibhakti. He is known as sampradhanam. Sampradhanam, to whom it is given is sampradhanam. It is placed in chaturthi vibhakti. Ramaha brahmanaya phalam hastena gruhat prasadat yachati. From where does he give? You ask the verb, from where does he do the action or give? And the answer is from home or from prasad is palace. From palace or from home he is giving. That word which denotes from where is placed, it is known as apadanam, is placed in panchami vibhakti, apadanarthe panchami. Then where does he do this? In Ayodhya. So Ramaha Ayodhyayam phalam brahmanaya hastena. In Sanskrit there is this facility. You can say Ramaha hastena brahmanaya, Ramaha phalam brahmanaya, Rama yachati phalam. Wherever you place the word, it is always giving the same meaning. Brahmanaya, wherever it is chaturthi. Hastena trutiya. It is third instrument. So Ramaha hastena, in Gujarati if we say Ram van જાય છે અને વન રામ જાય છે, તો અર્થ સરખો થશે. Will it be the same meaning? In Sanskrit, Ramaha vanam gacchati. Vanam Ramaha gacchati. Gacchati Ramaha vanam. Ramaha gacchati vanam. Whatever you say, it will be Rama goes to forest. Because Rama word is placed in first vibhakti. Ramaha. There are all little answers of the name. Rama, Ramu, Ramaha, Ramam, Ramam, Raman. So that way we know Rama is prathama vibhakti. Prathama always is karta. So vanam Rama gacchati, Rama vanam gacchati, but Rama is prathama. So wherever it shows karta. Vanam, it can be both first and second case, but because Rama is first case, so two cannot be Rama karta. Therefore, then we can say one is Vidya. Rama vanam gacchati. So Rama hastena brahmanaya phalam gruhat ayodhyayam yachati. In Ayodhya, he is doing this. So that in is saptami vibhakti, adhikaranarthe saptami, it shows location, locative case. Saptami vibhakti. Shashti vibhakti is all these six. First, second, third, fourth, fifth and seventh. Not sixth. The six vibhaktis are known as karakas. Karaka means those that help the verb or the root, the action to be done. Those helpful in action are known as karakas. So you ask the question to verb and you will know the answers. That will be karakas. Now suppose Dasharatha's son, Ramaha. What will you ask the verb? Then you will get the answer. You have to ask the verb. Who? Karta. So, what is given? What? Karma. With what? Karana. To whom? Sampradana. From where? Apadana. Where the place, location is the adhikarana. Now, to work, what will you ask so that you will get this Dasharatha's son Rama? Huh? Whose will you ask to verb? Radyachati. Whose Radyachati? Verb doesn't give the answer. So Shashti Vibhakti is not related to verb that way directly. Therefore, Shashti is not included in Karaka Vibhakti. Other remaining six are Karaka Vibhaktis. Shashti, so Bhashyakar always says Kriya Karma Kriya Karaka Phala. Very fond of using this phrase, Kriya Karaka Phala. Bhashyakar always says. Kriya means action, Karaka means all these Vibhaktis, because whenever you do an action, you need all these Karakas. But whose Rama doesn't make any difference. Whose husband, whose son, whose brother, whose wife, whose son, nothing. It can be all, whatever. So Shashti is not included in Karaka. Sambandha Shashti, that shows the Sambandha of anything to anything. Not only Karta, with my hand also, my fruit also. So Shashti can be with Karta, Karma, Karana, anything. My hand, my Brahmana or Brahmana from my village, or from my home or your home, or in my Ayodhya, Dasharatha's Ayodhya. So it can be related to any of these Karakas, but not to verb. So it is not included in Karaka. So now again, why we did this was Manasi, Vachasi, Karmani. All of these are seventh cases. Saptami Vibhakti. So Manasi means Manama, in mind. Vachasi, in speech. Karmani, in action. Ekam. So straightforwardness. Mahatmanam. There is Shashti Bhuvachanam. Mahatmanam, Shashti Bhuvachanam. So of the Mahatmas, in mind, in speech, in action, there is oneness. Duratmana, of the people who are wicked. Manasi, Anyata. Vachasi, Anyata. Anyat Shabda we know in Gujarati. Anya means different. Manasi we know. So Manasi, suppose we do not know Saptami. But Manas we know. So Mana Anyat. Vacha Anyat. Karma Anyat means it has to be Manasi Vachasi Saptami. Manma Jutuju ne Amanasa Manma Jutuju. So Manasi Anyat Vachasi Anyat Karmani Anyat Duratmanam. Duratma are those who are not one or straightforward. So when we arrange things like this, if they are straight, we can see from here to there. Suppose focus is microscope or whatever. But if not, just something in between is like this, we can't see. So straightforward person. So what is not alignment of thought, word and act? When I act, what? So what I think is, I should respect this person. That's what I think. When he comes, I say, okay, Jai Shri Krishna, please come. When I act, I know I should respect him. But so many times I'm not able to even speak well. I know he is a respectful person. I should respect him. He is older to me, and he is more Vidman, scholar, learned person. But I feel low about myself in his presence. I don't like to respect the person. So when what I think is what I speak is what I do, then it is straightforwardness. When what I think and what I speak are different, what I speak and what I do are different, then it is not straightforwardness or not Aarjavam. So for Aarjavam, my actions must be true to my words and my words to be true to my thoughts. In fact, if you know two words we use, Rutam Vadishyami, Satyam Vadishyami. Both words mean Satyam, truthfulness. Rutam also is Satyam, Satyam also is Satyam. Then why do we use two words, Rutam, in one line only? Rutam Vadishyami, Satyam Vadishyami, Tanmam Avatu, Tadbhaktaram Avatu. So where two words are used, Rutam is what is said in Shastras is Rutam. And what I do is, if that is true to what I know, it is Satyam. It is not always necessary that what I know as Satyam, I think, when I speak and I do, in this personality there is straightforwardness. Necessarily it may not be true, or it may not match to the scriptures. So first what I think should match to scriptures, that is Rutam, this is Satyam. And then what I know, if I speak that and I do that, really speaking, that will be straightforwardness in one person, but if it is with scriptures, that is really Mahatma. Now what happens if there is no alignment or non-alignment in my personality? Manasi, Vachasi, Karmani. If they are not one, then what does it happen? It creates a split. Split means I myself get divided in two or more persons. One is a knower person in me. One is a speaker person in me. And third is a doer one. The thinker thinks something else, speaker speaks something else, and doer does something else. Now, in a family, if there are three persons, all the three want different things. One wants to go here, second wants to go here, third wants to go there, one wants to eat this thing, second wants to eat this thing, third wants to eat this thing. One wants to go to a movie, other wants to this hotel, this club. Can the family go together any longer? If a family, different persons cannot stay together when they are all different minded, then in one me, if there are more than one, can they be made up a together personality or together person? So it is not for not cheating somebody else that I be straightforward. I'm straightforward for me to sleep happily without any sleeping pill. It is for all these values are for me, and that is my nature. This is natural to me, to be simple. If I have to, suppose I got a job and I'm getting 5,000 rupees per month. Now somebody asks, I heard that you have got a job. Yeah, just pay. What do you get? Suppose I have to say 5,000, I don't have to think. I get 5,000, I say 5,000. Now suppose I have to change that figure, then I have to think, what should I tell him? 5,000 I did not think. But if I have to say, but he will not like 5,000, and he will not look on me. So what should I do? Then I say 50,000. And to you I say 50,000. Now she is already getting 50,000. And if I say 50, then she will think, oh, 50 I also get. So I would say 70,000 to her. And to the other person, I would say 90,000 I get. Now, I have to remember, to you I have to say 50,000, to her 70, to her 90. Now suppose you two get together, then I want to check. If she comes to you, I'll come in between. She should not tell my scale that it is 70, and you shouldn't know that I have told her 70, to you 50. See how much I have to work with my mind. We think we are cheating somebody and we are getting away with the things. No, and we can get away with anything. We can't get away with this head. So being not straightforward, it creates a split in me, and that makes me not a together person. So if Arjuna, Bhagavan so many times say Arjuna, his name is Arjuna, and also Anasuyuhu. So Arjuna is straightforward. Whatever Arjuna thinks in mind, he says. It is not always right to say what I think. Suppose I went to watch a play. It was good, but not up to my standard or my mark. And the director or somebody comes and says, how was that? So not necessary that I should say it was very good, but also not necessary that I should say, Hatterini, it was no good. This is direction. It's no good a play. So, not necessary that we should always keep telling truth and always necessary. It is not necessary. But if we come to a situation where we have to say something, then we may not lie. We may not necessarily say truthfulness when the person will be hurt if we know. We can postpone, or we can make it a dilute thing, and then conveniently we can convey to the person, or we can wait for a better opportunity, and then we can tell. But generally, straightforwardness is always helpful for me to be a very simple person. This is straightforwardness, Aarjavam. Next is Aacharyopaasanam. Acharya means a teacher. Upasanam, really it means meditation. Upasana means meditation. So meditating upon the teacher. Aacharyopaasanam generally translated as service to the teacher. That also is okay. Serving the teacher, meditating upon the teacher, or Gurukula Vasa, staying in the ashram, in Gurukula. So in our culture, primarily service to the teacher, this is a value deeply embedded in Hindu culture. These things, in other countries, even parents may not be worshipped or served, perhaps. But in our culture, Matru Devo Bhava, Pitru Devo Bhava, Acharya Devo Bhava. Matru Devo Bhava means you become one, for him mother is Deva, God. Pitru Devo Bhava, you become one, Pita Deva for whom Pita is Deva, for whom you become one, for whom Pita is Deva, God. Acharya Devo Bhava, you become one, for whom Acharya, the teacher, is God. Atithi Devo Bhava, you become one, for whom the guest who has come without saying on previous day. He has just come. Right, because he walks in. Atithi is Deva, he is God for us. This is our culture, our Samskriti. So Aacharyopaasanam, earlier those days the students went to teacher's home. There were Gurukulas. So one WhatsApp message has come these days. It is by some doctor, cardiologist. So he says how Macaulay and how those people worked on us, and how they spoiled Gurukulas, they stopped them, they restructured them. It's a good thing. It is Krishna Tirtha Parishad. Did you see it? Is it not in Krishna? It is on Krishna. I send you. So how Gujarati medium and how this, it was planned. So he says, even when we leave India, they will remain our slaves. That was the plan. So even when we quit India and the students, even in these days, but not in these days, the days also will be changed. So in Lakulish, when we went for that lecture, that boy here was Dhaval. The students, they said those days, that day, that we were in India, we were living as foreigners. We didn't know our culture and how do we live. So having come to this yoga university, now we understand what we should do it and how we should behave and how we should do, how we should conduct ourselves. So this Gurukula was a very good system, which they spoiled very well, Takshashila, Nalanda. And for that matter, I would suggest to Chanakya. There are books on Kautilya Chanakya, particularly. So those were the days when Alexander Sikandar, he was invading, and from south he was coming. How this Nalanda was spoiled and it was destructed. We should know all these things. I would recommend to Dhumuketu, and particularly Dhumuketu has written this Itihasas, that is Gujarati Itihas. But in Chanakya, whose book is, I don't remember. But very good books. So, in Gujarat history also, Rana Pratap, we should know those things. We have books. And Shivaji, Jhansi Ki Rani, let us know what Desh Bhakti is. Not for the Desh, not for Desh. I don't say that you should go and do something for the country and what. That is not the idea. But we should have something. This is the soil, and where we are living, we have no value for this. What we get, our teachers, our parents, our Samskruti, our rishis, all those ancestors, what all they have contributed this culture, and to protect us, what they have done, we never know these things. We are divorced. It was a deliberate effort also on the part of so many people. But then, so I do not know why did I read. I am trying to understand. Why don't you read? Why did I read it? So that is what I am thinking. But one was in Nirvana 74. It was for what? Nirvana was for what? 74 Nirvana. 72 I think. 72 it was. She got married when Aarjavam 72 months. 72 months. So that was Nirvana. And 1 month I think things were closed. So Munshi I read in those Nirvana days. All Munshi literature. And Dhumkettu these days I read. But Gujarat history we have to read. We should know what all they did. Sadhus, if we say they are living life of austerity and things, what they have done we do not know. Every day, what was ashrama, what many. Even they get married, it is for the purpose of country. One more wife because then we have to have a relation with those people. Like that. So, we should know that then we'll be proud of those things. Narendra Modi also has some message in Krishna if somebody has given. So he says we should be proud of what? Gujarat, Lothal. And in Lothal, near Lothal, there was some Gurukul was, he says, near Lothal. And so Lothal was some industrial place or something. We should know this thing, we should be proud of this. Then alone we'll realize what our country is, what our Gujarat is. So really, this is also himsa. When our teachers are so great and we don't make note of them, our parents are sitting there and we just behave in whatever way, like our friends. So that is insult, that is himsa. So anyway, our Gurukula Vasa is Aacharyopaasanam, staying with the teacher and serving the teacher and teacher's wife also, Guru and Guru Patni. That's why Bhagavan Krishna also went to Gurukulam, Rama also went to Gurukulam, Shankaracharya Bhagavan also went to Gurukulam, just to set an example that we have to go to the Gurukulam, study with the teacher, stay with the teacher. Staying with the teacher means staying away from the comfort that we get at home with parents. So it is 10-year-old boy, 15-year-old boys, 20-year, even 25-year-old, 15 years for example, SSC, that is, 17 years. Then parents go with him, with tea and coffee and ice cream, everything else, as if he is going for something. And then when he goes to foreign country, everything. So much comfortable life. Then mother says, I put on the table and he didn't eat. So mother is all time remain present at home. The young boy of 25 can eat. So mommy has to always feed him. This is, and I don't realize, but so Gurukulam. Gurukulam, there are Guru and Guru Patni, they take care. But then we stay on our own. We wash our clothes, we wash our dress, and we are responsible for getting up in the morning, we are responsible for whatever we do, and that is on us that we do. So your parent has to take every care. So Gurukula Vasa, that was very good, staying with the teacher, serving the teacher, and staying away from home. was equally important. So attending marriages, attending social functions when you are Gurukulam, there is no social function. The 5-year-old boy, I have to go. Why? Because he is 5 વર્ષનું 7 વર્ષનું small child is to attend functions. Gurukula. So that was a very good practice in our place, service and surrender as well. So we are at his feet. Whatever he gives, we have to eat. Whatever treatment given Bhagavan Krishna and Sudama were sent to cut the wood. Do you know that? One night, Krishna and Sudama went to cut wood from the jungle, forest. And then they were cutting food and it started raining. It was all dark and lightning and everything else. So they went to the tree, climbed the tree, and they stayed for the whole night on the tree. Then Guruji in the morning went, where is Krishna, where is Sudama? So even Krishna has to cut the trees. Even Sudama has to go. And both are saying, Sudama is a poor Brahmin. Krishna is Bhagavan Krishna. Both of them are treated equally. So this equality also we learn in Gurukulas. All of them are safe. It's very good treatment to us. So service of teacher implies a whole frame of mind towards the teacher. A frame of mind characterized by surrender of personal ego. So what happens by staying with the teacher? Surrender of personal ego. Subordination of personal likes and dislikes. I don't like this. I hate this. I love this. I don't like this. I cannot even touch this. And only child's mother always pampers. Suppose he has come to your place and you said this and that. Mother will say, no, he doesn't like this. So she protects. This is how we spoil the child. There we surrender our likes and dislikes. That is has to be done. A willingness to give without demands for return. Here, what we learn is, anything I do for you, what will you do to me? How will it be returned? Then alone I do. There in teacher's place, I keep doing and keep doing and keep doing with no expectation or demand for what you do in turn. I do more service, so you should be more partial to me. I keep doing what I have to do. That is my privilege, in fact. But if not privilege, at least duty. If I am there, I am bound to serve the teacher. Whatever comes to me, I have to do. This Aacharyopaasanam is a great personal surrender. This kind of surrender to another person should be made only when the person to whom you surrender is made. So the person to whom the surrender is made has no personal needs. Whom you surrender, if he has personal needs, then you will be exploited. You surrender to him, you serve him, that is the person who needs nothing. It is only for us that we serve, not for him that we surrender or serve. No need for service, no need of any kind of to be the beneficiary of the attitude of Aacharyopaasanam. Only a person who has clear, steady knowledge of the true self is without needs. Now, who can be without needs? He says only a Brahmanishta Purush is without needs. But not even necessary, even a teacher, or simple teachers, Brahmin teachers. There was one J.D. Oza in Xavier's. He says, I am Brahmin. For the whole life I have taught. They are paid for what they are teaching in Xavier's. But he is satisfied with this. I am Brahmin, I have taught. So I am happy. So he is happy by teaching, by sharing what he has. That is what he does. He does in CN, I remember. The one teacher, Saprachand Bhai Shah. In our days, the tuitions were not this common. And cars also were not common with the students. One girl named Pallakapari, she was coming in a car. Her father used to drop her. And for her father requested the teacher that you can come to tuition at my place. He refused. I am teaching in the class. If she wants, again she can sit after the school. I will teach her tuition. So teaching, the way they get is different. But teaching is in spite of that. So that is aside, and they teach. They are happy to teach. So even those people don't have needs, personal needs. Means if I teach, then I should get something more. That kind of need, they don't. They are happy with what they are doing. Such a person is who can be a real teacher, a teacher who can unfold the knowledge of self. That is okay. So this is so much so for self-knowledge, but even otherwise also at least at this moment we can know this as a value, and that we have come here. It's not just some teaching, it's the special teaching, and then we can get something from this only when we have an attitude. If we are going to get something, and that is we have to change from what we are. Other learnings, we are what we are and we learn. So over and above what we are, and then we put something else inside. Here, rather than adding into us, we have to subtract something from us. This is what I do wrong, I have to give it up. I have to forget this. So I should be trying to, if not necessarily that I can do it right now, but at least I can try to get rid of these habits of me. That is what. So if we have this surrender, if we have surrendered our likes and dislikes, if we have faith in the teacher, if we think he knows what he is teaching, if we know that he doesn't have any personal agenda, and whatever he says is true to the scriptures, and only thing in his mind is that I should get something, or I should be better, or please self. He is teaching only for this. If this much I know, then I will be able to understand, try to understand, and implement in my life. Otherwise, if it is to write for writing in the examination paper, I just know, remember, write, and get away with the thing. This is not for that. This is for me to learn and imbibe in my life. So when Lord Krishna tells Arjuna that Aacharyopaasanam is one of the values constituting jnana, it is understood that the teacher at whose feet student surrenders must be a teacher of such integrity and freedom from personal needs for service. Aacharyopaasanam, willingness to serve, is a significant thing rather than the particular acts of service done. What do I do is not important. That I do, I am prepared to do, is only important thing. So I will do only this. I can wash the clothes, but I cannot sweep. I can sweep, but I cannot clean the vessels. I can do that, but I can't go for grazing the cows. I can go for grazing the cows, but I cannot do gardening. So one thing I will do, second thing I will not do. I have choices on those things, what service I do and what service I do not do. That is not the willingness to serve, means an inner stance of readiness to serve whether or not one is called upon to serve. To serve, even that is not important, but that I am available to serve. Whenever required, I am there for whatever service is required. In service, an attitude in which nothing asked of me is considered too small or too large for me to serve the teacher. Nothing is too less, nothing is too large. I can do anything for my teacher. Anything means anything. And once one is ready for that, the strength, I do not have strength, it will come. I don't have resources, anything will come. Once I am ready to do for my teacher something, for anything I will say. Even for a job or even for this business and anything, the persons, those who businessmen, they work like anything. Whatever you achieve, you have to work for that. So serving the teacher, if you do that, and here, of course, you are serving the Chetana. So he is a teacher, his blessings are there, he knows what he is giving you, he is telling you to do this, means something is there. So that also helps. So anything I am ready to do, any large thing I am ready also to do, any small thing I am also ready to do. In service, nothing is large, nothing is small. The teacher becomes an altar at which I can surrender myself. That is Aacharyopaasanam. In gaining any disciple of knowledge, respect for the teacher is essential. So not only for Vedanta or for Brahma Vidya, any learning. I know I have been serving my teachers. In CN, there was one teacher, she liked flowers. And there was borsari. Many borsari trees are there, bamboo trees in CN. Those days they were, I do not know these days. I used to always go and they fall down. So pick the flowers and prepare it. And name નાનકડી ડાળી લીમડાના પાંદડા કાઢી નાખીએ ને પછી જે ડાળી હોય એના અંદર પાંદડા ફૂલ કરવી દેવાના અને આખી સળી that I used to offer to the teacher. And in PhD and everywhere also always we serve the teachers. So my colleague would also light this cigar for him. He likes coffee and when he will want coffee and when he will want chilled coffee and when our teacher will want hot coffee, hot tea, 250 ml beaker, 500 ml beaker. What he needs, we know exactly. And we do that. We did that. And teachers also, Professor Chinoy, I would tell you. So, test tube, we had to wash many test tubes. And then they are rinsed and then put in trays. Our lab was air conditioned. So door was closed. Oven was outside. So then we have to hold the tray, open the door and go outside. Now it is this much big tray and full of test tubes. So how do I hold and how do I open the door? Then Professor Chinoy would like to get up and open the door, which he couldn't do because he was not so well. But this is what teachers do. So when you are okay with the teachers, when you have an attitude of serving. Service is required or not is different thing. But there is an attitude to serve the teacher, to serve anybody. Where you have an attitude to be useful or helpful, naturally the other person is helpful to you. And whatever best he has flows to you. This service opens the channel between the two people. It opens the channel. When you do something, what will you eat? What will you do? So, today is Diwali, should I get something for you? So, the person keeps on thinking for the teacher. He has this need, he will require this, he will want this, he will want this. So, like that, his mind gets free of all the other things. That's the best thing. When it revels in the teacher, it means the mind becomes free from all worldly occupations. And then, his love also, it was distracted everywhere, it comes back and it is just concentrated on the teacher. This is a relationship beyond worldly relationships. We should know this. When we say it is concentrated on one teacher, it is risky. But then this is a teacher who knows what he or she is for, a student who knows what he has come for, or she has come for, and then Aacharyopaasanam becomes a very, very, very good and helpful attitude for the student, and that helps the teacher teach the student. Otherwise, when the teacher doesn't know, if I say something, how would the person feel? If I say, you can go and do this thing for me, and then he will feel, all the time when we come, he says, go and get water. Can't he drink there and come back here? Why does he ask us? Then the teacher cannot say anything. So if he says something, if he teaches something, when he is sure that we will accept the things as they are told in right spirit, then he has enthusiasm. It comes by itself. Ya swayam padmanabhasya mukho padmadmini sruta. Bhagavan taught Gita to Arjuna, not the Gita he thought of imparting Gita knowledge. Arjuna was there. Arjuna was friend of Bhagavan, was relative of Bhagavan, he was bhakta, devotee of Bhagavan. And he was in front of Bhagavan, he started weeping. And then Gita from Bhagavan's heart came by herself. Not that Bhagavan thought of, today it's a very good day and I will teach Gita. No, Bhagavan didn't know. By itself it started coming. And he happened to be an instrument in teaching Gita to Arjuna. So that is what Arjuna could invoke from Bhagavan. This is how we have to invoke from the teacher, that he can impart the knowledge of anything. so much of Brahma Vidya, but for any knowledge, we should be able to invoke the teacher, and that is when he can give the best, and we can get the best. This is Aacharyopaasanam. Now questions.
How can we practice Aarjavam when a thought comes with કલીગની સાથે માન્ય થાય તો એને મને તો એવું હોય કે હું એને કહી દઉં પણ એટલે મને ખબર છે કે મારી કરવું યોગ્ય નથી એટલે પછી હું ના કરું એટલે મગજના મનમાં ક્લેશ પહોંચતો તો એની ઓવરકમ લે કે જે મને ખબર છે કે એ કરવું યોગ્ય નથી તો મારા મનમાં કોઈ વિચાર ન આવે.
Practice is the only thing. So it is not easy. None of these things is easy. Nothing is easy. First thing, we have to know the value of the value. So I should have a value for becoming a straightforward person. I know Aarjavam is good for me, and Aarjavam is no good for me. It will create split on me. This is what I should know. First thing, I know that. Then I know something else, and if I tell this, then the problem happens, and I shouldn't say. I'm deliberate. Doesn't matter. If I know what something is, and I do not speak, I think I should not speak, and so I do not speak. So this compromising the values are habitual. Compromising the values habitually, I should get rid of that. That is a must. Now deliberately, if I compromise a value, deliberately, I know what is right, I know I should say right, and still I think it is at the moment no good to say right. Okay, then I wait for a better opportunity, and deliberately I say something wrong, knowingly this is wrong, and I say. Inside I pray to the God that this is not right that I am doing. I know I shouldn't do it, but I don't have courage for whatever. So maybe I have to lose the job, or maybe I have to lose the patient, or maybe I have to lose the colleague, or every day then he will quarrel to me. Whatever. They suspect me. Anything. So for some reason I think it is not right for me at this moment to say what is right. Well, I compromise. Bhagavan, give me strength that I can face a situation and I can tell right. At least let this not become a habit. Next time I have more strength, I'll be able to say. So deliberately, at this moment, because we are not sadhus. For a sadhu who is staying with a teacher, or who is given up things. So no purushartha, dharma, artha and kama. For him, this can be absolute values. He never has to say, tell lie or anything. When we are doing something, well, Upanishad accepts in samsara it is not easy, or maybe it is not possible to get rid of maya absolutely. So some lying has to be there, and some compromise always comes. Well, we have to accept that. But let us be at least deliberate in what we compromise. That is the first step. Right?
Out of the way question. Is it forbidden to eat onions and garlic in Shastra?
Yes. Tamasam. Parichakshate. So, three kind of food, sattvic, rajas and tamasa. Sattvic is that helps our mind to be sattvic. Sattvic means which is available for studying, which is available for non-compromising of the values, abiding by the values. That's sattvic mind. Always love that Brahmana is sattvic. In Varnashrama Vyavastha, if Brahmana mind means teaching and learning, he doesn't like to quarrel, doesn't like to fight, doesn't like to act also. If Brahmana, if he is sent to that front and given banduk and everything else, guns, then he cannot do this. He can't even beat a machhar. So that is Brahmana mind, sattvic. Rajas mind is active, and Kshatriya, it is Rajas mind. Kshatriya then comes, so Brahmana is Sattva and then followed by Rajas and Tamas. Kshatriya is Rajas followed by Sattva. So he acts, but for service he acts. Vaishya is Rajas followed by Tamas and then Sattva. So he acts, but for his stomach, he acts Vaishya. And in Shudra, tamas is predominant. So Upanishad says, Ahar Shuddho Sattva Shuddhihi, Sattva Shuddho Dhruva Smrutihi, Smrti Lambe Sarva Granthina Vipramokshaha. So Ahar Shuddhi Ahriyate iti Aharaya, what is taken in is Ahar. Not only through mouth, through eyes also we take something inside. Through ears also, through this taste also, skin also. So all the Jnanendriyas, through them we take things inside. Whatever we see also has effect on mind, whatever we hear also has effect on mind. So all those things have effect on minds. So if this onion and garlic, if we eat that, it has to have an effect on mind. So the mind will become rajas and tamas. Now as a medicine, those things are recommended and really they are good. Not only recommended, it's medicines. For cholesterol, the real dawa is garlic. Onion also, we were listening to something. Onion has so many good effects. Garlic also has so many good effects. But generally we don't like to eat those things. It smells, very bad smell. The whole body smells. Even there they keep, then I can't sit here in our home. So very bad smell. Then how can we eat that? So dirty thing, how can we eat? In smell. But people do it. So in Shastra they are forbidden. And we can try. If we are sensitive, we'll understand. I ate this, therefore this came in my mind. Otherwise it will not. We can always make experiments. We need not go for that. But if we are sensitive, they say Mahatmas, so they ate bhiksha to somebody's place, then came, then at night they were sleeping, and everybody had some kind of thought. Some not good thought, or some killing somebody, or some kind of thing. Then why did this happen to us? Oh, we ate to this place. Therefore. So if we are sensitive, we'll be able to find out. Not to curse or blame somebody, but generally sattvic food, they don't eat food cooked by somebody else. Shankaracharya Maharaj is his cook. He goes with him. Either Swayam Paki, they cook by themselves, or they have that person to cook. People do that. Then, so you should participate, huh? That will be a very good thing. So we should try to imbibe things. And if I go to imbibe, then this happens, what will I do? Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.